Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. This is Matt and Steve, SC, bringing you the Ever OSL Round of 8. If you haven't seen Game 1, Flash versus Jaedong, you should go watch that because it's the first game that we casted, so we may spoil it this game.
We will spoil it.
We plan on spoiling it.
We are going to enjoy spoiling it.
Seriously, so even if the game for some reason didn't upload and there's some random craziness, you should stop watching this because we might talk about Jaedong versus Flash. That said, we probably won't. Anyways, this is Pure versus Calm. Also an excellent matchup in my opinion. I still think, even though Pure is down a game, I still think Pure has a chance. It'd be tough to go 2 games, but again, I'm a Pure fan because I think that he is just leading the way in terms of Protoss versus Zerg and just build composition, you know, using more Dragoons and protecting your Templar and everything that Protoss should do right. I think Pure does. Now that said, Pure is a player that doesn't have a lot of experience, and he made somewhat of a bad kind of new mistake in the last game. So if you guys remember the last game, it seems like it's been forever ago, but it was Pure versus Calm, and Calm tried to make a secret hatchery in the bottom right, and Pure smartly put down some cannons to stop that hatchery, but unfortunately after he stopped that hatchery, he was not able to get another scout into Calm's base and didn't see that Calm was following up with 2 hatch mutas. So Calm had a bunch of mutas in Pure's base. Pure did not have any cannons guarding his minerals. He probably could have afforded a cannon or 2. It's somewhat debatable, but he basically spent a few extra minerals on zealots, didn't have the cannons in his base, and so he did not have enough to hold off the mutas. So somewhat of a kind of new mistake, I suppose, in that he wasn't able to force a scout in there. He did have a zealot down there with his probe, so he could have probably forced a scout in there. But anyways, that game is history. Pure's got to think about the future now. It looks like nothing out of the ordinary is going on. Pure getting down his first probe, or his first pylon. And just so you know, Pure is the Protoss player in the bottom right. There's his scout going out his probe, and on the bottom left is Calm, the Zerg player. And it looks like Calm is going for a quick pull, so 9 pull. This is El Nino, so it's a 3-player map, not a lot of distance between the spawn points, so it is pretty easy to scout your player. So we've seen a lot of Zergs do aggressive builds in this map, especially against Terran. We see a lot of Guardians and things like that, just because it's a close distance. So not surprising that Pure or that Calm would start off with a pretty aggressive build with a 9 pull.
I've actually been seeing a lot more Guardians from Zerg lately, and I haven't seen them all that effective against Protoss in particular. No idea what that sign says. I was actually going to mention something interesting that I saw against, I believe it was against Terran, was it was against Terran. This is obviously a different matchup here, but we have a little bit of delay. But against Terran recently was all-out Mutalisk builds. In fact, I was watching the MSL, and there were 2 games in a row I saw that were like just straight-up hardcore Mutalisk builds, and none of them really worked that well. And it's an interesting strategy, I think. And I think all-out Mutalisk works better against Dragoons in a by the way standard front door here. We are going to see an expansion going up here from Pure, and of course Calm did scout out Pure as Pure scouted out Calm, so they both know where they are right now. And the early Zerglings coming out, I don't think Pure is going to have any trouble with those so far. It's a matter of seeing basically if we're going to see more Zerglings coming out, if there is going to be an attempt at a run-by or something like that from Calm. But 2 cannons up right now. I believe that was 2 cannons. I'm not sure if one of them was a gateway. But 2 cannons is pretty much the play it safe, the general opening for this. But anyways, just, I don't know, it's been interesting to see more Mutalisk play. I like seeing Mutalisk play against Protoss. I think it's something that tends to work pretty well, at least before the mid-game comes along with the Templars and such. But then obviously you have the whole 9 Mutalisk Templar sniping that goes on. Now we do see some more Zerglings. And for those wondering, 9 is the magic number for Mutalisk. You'll see Zerg go do that in the mid-game to try to snipe the Templars. It is 9 because with 9 Mutalisks, that will kill a Templar with 1 shot from each of the Mutalisks if you have them clumped together.
Well, and very quick lair here. Coming from Calm, as we expected, getting the 9 pull-ups, the one advantage of getting the pool very quickly is you're able to get your tech up very quickly. So, very fast lair, not even having a second hatchery up, and lair already going up. So, we're definitely going to probably see a 2-hatch build. We'll see when he adds a second gas, but most likely, you know, some very quick tech coming out. Probably, I would say Mutalisk, like you were saying earlier. But that's kind of an adaptation on this map, I suppose, because you have the short distance, and it looks like Pure, a little bit paranoid, has 3 cannons there. On his wall instead of the typical 2. Probe transfer a little bit late. But yeah, I know that build you're talking about against Terrans, I've seen a lot too. It's like 2 hatcheries and then they get Mutalist, so it's kind of like 2-hatch Muta,
And
but
then
they
they
get the
keep doing
third.
it.
They keep
Right.
they get the third pretty quick, so it's not all in. They get
Yeah.
their third, and they keep making Mutas, and the end goal, I believe, is to get Guardians, and a lot of times they don't survive that long. We saw Quanro, I think it was Quanro versus Bogus, and he did a build like that.
Yep.
Won't spoil that game, but so he did his build like that, and there was a couple other Zergs that have done it. So yeah, a lot of Zergs have been experimenting with that, the Guardians and the getting the quick mutas like 2-hatch muta, and there is the Spire now. I don't think it's been honestly all that effective though.
Yeah, I haven't seen, it's good to see them being creative.
But Protoss vs Zerg, definitely a different matchup. But again, getting quick mutas can still be very effective again, and I still don't see a third hatchery for Calm, so it looks like this is going to be just pretty quick tech and pretty quick mutas. And this map is also a good map for air units in general. I think it's a good map for Reavers too. There's a second gas.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be getting quick gas. But yeah, just this map, how your natural's kind of surrounded by cliffs, and there's a short distance, and you can see even the water on the map too. Makes it a really good build for air units. It looks like that probe is going to scoot by for Pure. Pure just now getting up his Stargate and his second gas, so he's going to have a Corsair out in a little bit, but definitely Scourge are going to be in the air way before that Corsair is out, and it looks like actually Pure, unfortunately, is not going to get a scout into the main base, but he does see that there is no expansion. Didn't see that base down there, I don't think. Maybe he did, so not totally positive, but